Well, good evening, everybody. It's so good to see you all. Welcome to tonight's call. As you know, we get together every Monday evening, Team Eagles, have done for many, many years now, and it's always so lovely to see your smiling faces. Most of you know that we are Jenny and Mick Daly. We are presidential marketing directors in your support line. We live in the beautiful mountains of Colorado, and on Wednesday, we're heading off to beautiful England. So you won't be seeing much of us for the next 3 weeks or so. But anyway, we're excited about tonight's call. As always, we like to take a look at our contest. And at the moment, the numbers are very, very low. I'm just pulling up, there we go, full screen. So not a lot of activity. You know what's interesting? This happens in the summer. Don't ask me why. But typically August is a very slow month. So I know this is going to pick up a bit as the next 2 or 3 weeks go by. But at the moment, Kim and Mark, you are in the lead. See whether you can stay there. Rachel in second place and Dr. Deborah Bain in third place. So good to see some new names on the board there. So what are we, August the 14th? We're not quite halfway through the month, so I know that's going to change. Okay, Melinda, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thank you so much. I just love the way Jenny kicks us off. So we have changed things up a little bit. And as you know, our new format, what we're going to do at the beginning, the first Monday each month when we announce the winner and all of the things with the business, that's when we'll do the business tip. But after Denise's program last week and all of her expertise on research, I asked her if the other weeks, if she would give us a little 2-minute tip, something you could say in the elevator when someone wants to know our distinguishing factor. So we're going to turn it over to Denise. Get ready to take notes.
Great. Okay, so we're going to kick it off with a skin study, and this one was done in 2012 in Germany, and it was a gold standard study where they did just the fruit and veggies. It's a duo against the placebo, and they wanted to determine microcirculation and structure in middle-aged women, healthy women. And so microcirculation is responsible for nutrition and oxygen supply and thermal regulation. And it's important that we have the nutrients delivered down into our tissues. So something kind of interesting, in addition to fatty acids, micronutrients like carotenoids and polyphenols are important in skin health. And we have those in our capsules. And so the device they use, it's called Oxygen to See, and this was used for microcirculation testing. And this has also been used in diabetics because a lot of times they have poor circulation and they need to test. So they tested it at right underneath, like the top layer, 1 millimeter, and then 8 millimeters, so lower, like where your general blood circulation is. And so there was no significant difference at 8 millimeters, but at 1 millimeter, they did testing data analysis both at 6 weeks and 12 weeks. At 6 weeks, there was 21% increase, and at 12 weeks, there was 39% increase. The thing that's really cool is the placebo group had a significant decrease in microcirculation, 31%. And until reviewing that study, I mean, that's something new I found, is the placebo group. Their microcirculation and blood flow significantly went down. So other positive effects were increased that were statistically significant were the hydration, thickness, and density. So they also drew blood for carotenoids and vitamin E. And these were also significant, so compared to the placebo group. And so anyway, and those are in our, that kind of shows another bioavailability, that they weren't there when the study started, but they're there at 12 weeks and it's statistically significant. So the one thing I was going to say that's pretty cool is this was only done on the duo. So it would, I'd love to see the effects if we did the berry now. So, and then I'm going to post in the Team Eagles, there is, skin. So we have 2 studies showing that Juice Plus helps our skin microcirculation. This is just one of them, but this is on the inside, but it also helps on the outside. So there's an event where they're going to be doing plant powder facials. And this is August 22nd, and I will post the flyer. And I like this flyer because it also has the study included in it. So I'm thinking about inviting some friends over and having an event. It's at 8 p.m. Central. So maybe have them come at 7 and bring, a healthy snack and social hour for an hour. And then 8 o'clock, you'll sit down and watch the Zoom. But anyway, that's just a thought, food for thought and your skin. And so anyway, there you go.
I love it. Food for thought and your skin. So I hope you took really good notes, and Denise is going to do that for us every single time, because that is absolutely the thing that puts us apart, as you heard when she did the deeper dive previously. I am so excited to introduce to you our speaker tonight, Mr. Marc George. Marc and I have known Marc and Kim for almost 20 years now. We do go to church together. Our daughters roomed in college together. And I have been so impressed by them on so many different levels. Both of them were very, very dear friends. Marc is quite impressive in the business arena, and he played baseball, went all the way up through Baylor playing baseball. And he owns multiple businesses. He and Kim own a large chemical supply business here in Waco, T&G Supply. He has multiple investments. He runs a very large select baseball program here. And now they together own their Juice Plus franchise. So I asked him, I get on connection calls with Marc and Kim constantly, and am always so impressed with how he listens and then provides solutions, and they just give us their credit card. So I asked Marc if he would share that with us tonight.
Awesome. Well, like I said earlier, if I had seen that picture that you posted and what was coming, there's no way I would have gotten on tonight's Zoom at all. That was just a terrible advertising picture. Thanks a bunch for asking me. And I'm looking at the people on here. I'm like, why am I talking? These people are all like kings of Juice Plus, and I'm yapping. But here we go. So, we've had relative success with Juice Plus. And, Melinda and I talked about maybe sharing some how we do it. And it's maybe not easy, but and at times we may make it look easy. I know we only have an hour and a half, so I'm going to go quickly. So first, here's what I'll say. Who has seen the movie Sound of Freedom? It's freaking unbelievable. Have you seen the movie Sound of Freedom? If you haven't seen the movie, you got to go see it. It is mind-blowing, gut-wrenching, the rocks that we're living under. Who would have thought? If you haven't seen Sound of Freedom, you got to go see it. So how'd that sound? Pretty good plug? All right. That's kind of where we're at. That's where Kim and I are at. We're not interested in Juice Plus if we can't get excited about Juice Plus, period. I'm excited about baseball. I'm excited about my chemical business. I am crazy excited about Juice Plus. So really my most important key factor is you've got to be excited about your product. You don't have to be stupid, but you really have to be excited. I hope you heard the excitement in my voice on the movie. You got to go see it. If you haven't seen it, you're probably gonna, because I gave it a plug. I didn't get paid to do that, right? And so and I think I did that without making you feel like I was selling you something. I don't get paid for you to go see that movie. And none of us, I don't think anybody here on this Zoom wants anybody knocking on our door, anybody selling us anything. And heck, when our doorbell rings, first thing we do is look at our cameras, and so if they're selling, we're out, right? And so for me, if you have to sell Juice Plus, you're probably going to lose. And it's got to be more. And by the way, I was born to sell. If you're not, don't worry, I have something for you. So don't hang up. Just stay with me. I've got something for you. And if time permits, I've got a surprise for us at the very end. You know, listen, introduce what you have. You've got the cookie. We have the cookie, and we can help somebody. And if you're not that person, I'll jump to that right now. If you're not that person that you just can't speak it. My wife, okay? If I tee it up, she will absolutely knock it out of the park, but she can't tee it up. She just can't get to the tee box, right? But if I can tee it up, she will go and she won't stop, but she just can't get that conversation started. Listen, keep your ears open for those of you that don't feel like you can talk, that can't even jump on the Zoom maybe and do a lead like this. Just listen, know that you're going to hear it from every conversation you have with every person that steps into your life. We make jokes about me. I will talk to people at a stoplight. I absolutely will. And it's because I know I've got the cookie. And it's as simple as, hey, I've got somebody I want you to talk to. If you can't do it, it's okay. Actually, a huge piece of advice is please don't try to be somebody you're not, because the rest of us can see it and we can feel it, and we aren't even listening from the get-go. You know, so somebody says to you, man, I went to the doctor, my freaking blood pressure, my cholesterol, all my blood work is terrible. You don't need to spit out a bunch of facts. You know, Denise was incredible with what she just gave us, but you know, can all of us do that? No, but we can say, hey, you know something, don't have time right now, but I've got somebody you need to talk to. And I promise you, I think this will help you and the problems you've got going on. If you're willing to listen, I've really got somebody I want to introduce you to, right? But you kind of want to dangle it and not be so, I want to put my swimsuit on and my goggles on and my scuba tank on and just dive in. Just let it play, right? And actually dangle it a little bit and say, hey, you know, maybe tomorrow or the next day I'll try to get in touch, and she's a very busy lady or he's a very busy person, but I got to put you on the phone with somebody. I promise you it's going to change your life. So you don't really need to do the presentation. You just got to hear the need for that and then say, hey, I've got somebody you need to talk to. It's really that simple. Okay. And so sometimes you might, I would take this, is Cheryl still with it? Cheryl's still on. So let me just tell you, if I sat here right now and I tried to just go off on nutrition, how many people really would listen to me? She just read my bio, and at no point did anybody believe I could talk nutrition. Well, I can't. So we used to use this air condition repair example, and it kind of goes like this. So you're talking to your sister, right? And how's your day? My everything was good till I got home, found my AC was out. If I were to say, okay, hey, do this, go over to your AC unit, take off the front panel, and then as soon as you get that off, let me know. My sister would go, the heck do you know about AC repair, right? On the other hand, if I said, man, are you in luck? I am sitting with a really good friend of mine who's an AC repair guy. Let me put him on the phone with you, and maybe he can help you over the phone. If not, then maybe y'all can set up an appointment and come to your house. You kind of see the difference in that? Because if I had tried to BS my way down that AC road, we'd have never made it. I'd have never made that sale. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's always an example that I use whenever I'm counseling or teaching, whether it's my teammates or something like this. I always use that example, right? So keywords to not use that define you as a salesperson. And man, am I going to get in trouble because this is being recorded and whatever. I realize that we need to follow up. I'm not saying don't follow up, but what I am saying is do not use those words. If you say, hey, Melinda, I was just following up on our conversation, that's what salespeople do. Salespeople are following up. Okay, so mine sounds more like, man, I know I told you I was going to get back with you. It's been crazy busy. I had no idea everybody was going to be as excited about this. This was as soon as I could get back to you. We had this conversation. I wanted to get back and see if what excited you the most about what we talked about. At no point did I say I wanted to follow up to see where you're at. All right. And so maybe I know everybody's probably been doing that, and it's probably going to be a huge problem to break that habit. But I promise you, I just called to follow up, told everybody that you're a salesman, because that's what all the roofing guys have been doing with these hailstorms. That's what all the window guys are doing. They're following up on a sales lead, right? And so if you can avoid that, do that at all costs. Let's see. All right. So the next thing that we want to try to do on our part is create FOMO. FOMO is fear of missing out. Right. We have the cookie. And if you can just dangle it and not be in the hurry to necessarily close that deal today, we all want to close the deal today, but sometimes it takes. You should even not act surprised, but inside you should be, oh my gosh, we're going to actually write this order right now. I was planning on taking 2 days to do this or 3 days to do this, because I was going to dangle this carrot, then I was going to take it away a little bit and just create this fear of missing out. And if you can create that, then victory is just on the other side. Juice Plus, what I like about Juice Plus is they let you run at your own pace. There certainly is an absolute reason. I think it might have been last week's call when we talked about momentum. I think it was Nicole that was talking about momentum. Momentum is unbelievable. But also, I would advise us to be careful not to grind ourselves into a hole. If you've seen the movie, I think it's called The Replacements with Keanu Reeves and whatever, and they went and said, what's your biggest fear? And they were saying, some of the guys were saying snakes and some of the guys were saying spider. And Keanu Reeves, who was the quarterback of this team, said quicksand. And what that meant was when you get in quicksand, the more you kick your feet, the faster you sink. And so I would say I read a book in personal growth. I think it was by Rory Vaughan. Don't quote me on that, but I think, and it was called Take the Stairs. And here's what I'll tell you. When you get into Juice Plus and you look at National Marketing Director or whatever it is that's above that, it can be daunting and it can kind of scare you away. When you look at a set of stairs, you don't look at the top stair because you can't take that step, right? So when we say take the stairs, climb it one step at a time. Find the small victory on the way to the top. You're gonna get to the top. And nobody said you had to do it in 6 months. And nobody said you had to do it in 10 years. And nobody said you had to do it in 20 years or whatever. Just do it, right? But take the stairs, do it one step at a time and not grind yourself. And when you find yourself in a slump, like a baseball player, when I coach my baseball guys and they're in a hitting slump, I go to them and I say, look, find a small victory in this at bat. Okay. Doesn't matter what it is. I want to either hit it on the barrel. I want to hit it to this side of second base. I want to foul one off, whatever. Instead of try so hard, you just keep getting deeper and deeper into that slump. So you can find that in Juice Plus when you're trying to sell. Who said that? Is that right? Rory Vaughan takes stairs. There you go. Oh, wow. She's in Juice Plus. Way to go. That was awesome. I did not know that. When you find yourself in that and you're in Juice Plus, don't make it about the sale. Don't make it about the promotion at the end of the month. Make it about all I want today is somebody to answer the phone. And you win, right? They may say no, but your victory was, I just needed them to answer the phone. And tomorrow it could be, I just want to send out one board to one person or whatever. It can be small victories. And if you can find a small victory, it'll keep you from getting into a grind, into a slump that possibly that you can't get out of. So let's see here. What I was going to do was, and the last thing I was going to say, or one of the other things I was going to say is be sure to, when at all possible, talk to couples. Us, me and Mark, whatever, I talk to a lot of guys, and almost all the time they go, I got to go talk to my wife, right? I actually talked to a lady today before this Zoom, and she goes, I actually need to talk to my husband. Who'd have thought? But it takes that, it eliminates that one stall out, right? That might happen. If possible, just when you go to set your visit, hey, what are you doing tomorrow night at 7:30? Are you and your husband available? Well, I'll be around, or my husband's got baseball or whatever. Say, okay, well, I really want to talk to both of you. So don't be in such a hurry that you eliminate one of the people out of there that is going to stall it out anyway. Does that make sense? And so this surprise is coming. Are you going to hang up on me? It's coming. Watch this. So one of the things that I almost hate about when I go to a convention or whatever, all those people that get on stage, you got to say to yourself, are they really doing that? Are they really doing that? All right. So let's just check. This is a surprise for y'all. Give me 30 seconds. Bree, are you on here? Good. Please answer the phone. I don't know if this lady's going to answer the phone or not.
Hey, Mark.
Mackenzie, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Awesome. So, hey, if you remember last week, I sent you some stuff on Juice Plus. Remember that?
Yep.
So I'm actually on a training call. I've only got a few seconds right now, but the girl that introduced me to this is on this call. And just the other day, she announced that she's pregnant. And I told her about you. And she said, because you're pregnant and all is still going well. And she said, first words out of her mouth were, I want to talk to her now. She needs to know what I know. So she's on this call. Thanks for picking up. I literally am going to, I'll take 10 or 15 seconds. I would love to connect you and Brianna. Y'all are about the same age. I'd love to connect you guys, and then probably just let you, if it's okay with you, I'd like to give her your number and you girls chat about pregnant stuff that us guys know nothing about. Are you, you interested in that call?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Well, we'll be done here in a little bit. So she, if you're available tonight, she might hit you, and then she's got a little bit of time tomorrow afternoon. She can hit you. Is either one of those okay?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Have a great evening. I appreciate you picking up my phone call.
Of course.
See you, girl.
Okay. Bye,
Bye.
Mark.
That's it. So I don't think when I go to a convention and you hear everybody and they always make it sound easy. Is it easy? Do they really do that? So I wanted you to know that I live by the words that I'm preaching to you. And so last, and I know you want to hang this up, last is my favorite thing to do when I'm pushing a product or whatever is take it away. If you take it away, they become more interested. If you say, you know what, maybe this really isn't for you. If you have presented this to somebody and they are taking a week, because it doesn't take a week. This isn't a $2,000 investment. It does not take a week to spend $54 or whatever level you're, pushing. If it takes them that long, I usually reach back out and I go, hey man, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you visiting with me. It appears that this probably really isn't the program for you, but you know where I'm at, you know what I'm doing. And if the time comes where the health of your family becomes priority, you know where I'm at, give me a shout. You know what I mean? And you take it away and you're gone and you're still friends. Still go to the movie, still go to dinner, but you took it away from them. And you know what? They became more interested. I know you're chomping at the bit. I'm looking at the clock too. Okay. I quit.
That is for sure just how this man rolls. Can you see why Brianna and Mark and I love having Mark and Kim George working with us after all this time? So just a couple quick things and then we'll turn it over to questions. But I just do want to remind everyone that next week, our very own Paula and Albert and Amanda Schneider will be sharing their stories. So the invitation has already been posted. Make sure you get that out to a bunch of people this week. That's going to be a phenomenal opportunity to hopefully intrigue and then create a lot more conversations that Mark was talking about. So we've got about 2 or 3 minutes. Does anybody have a question? They're just burning to ask Mark or Kim. You can ask Kim also. Cheryl.
Well, I'm so excited. Thank you, Mark, for making me come on tonight. I really appreciate it. You are so on spot on what is it, FOMO?
FOMO, yeah.
Yes. Is that if you, I really That's so great. I'm gonna pull it back and not just keep, I think that's a good thing. Thank you.
Absolutely. You're welcome. Thanks for coming on. I wouldn't have got on with that picture she posted.
I got on because you made me feel bad the other day.
I
Yeah.
know.
We might have had a little conversation about Cheryl's ability to join us. on
It was
Monday
great.
night.
It was great seeing y'all at the level up thing.
Well, you know, Mark, even after 30 years, I still learned something from you about this business, and that is not to use the word follow-up.
I know, I love that.
In the
No
follow-up,
follow-up.
we need to use the word follow-up because we
And
are
they
not
said-
salespeople. Whew.
You know, and we've said for years, follow-up is, fortune is in the follow-up, and I hate that word. So I'm so glad not to use it anymore.
We still got to do it.
Right,
You're gonna
right.
follow up.
You just don't use it.
Well, Jenny, could you just hear yourself saying, it's okay. We're just gonna learn it as you earn it,
There
right?
you go. Absolutely. Yep. Love it. Well done, Mark. That was really good.
Thanks, Jenny.
Anybody else with a quick question before we have to end our time together tonight? Come on, I know y'all have something else you want to ask Mr. George.
So Mark, if I get someone on the line who is just like you, can I do a three-way call with you?
100%.
Because that would be so cool.
100%. I'm happy to do that.
Thank you, Mark.
I did that actually earlier today, Mick. I was talking to somebody and her husband is an athlete and I knew they wouldn't be able to get on tonight, but I said, you know, I got a friend that's on tonight and I just really need to get y'all together. You will love to meet this dude. And of course they're like, well, who is it? What does he do? You know, and I just, well, you know, he's a baseball player. He's an athlete, you know, collegiate, has a lot of investments, you know, blah, blah, blah. And you know, he's just like, win, win, win. So you have a connection call coming, Mark.
Well, that's awesome. Well, what I will say, and if there's another question, great. But as many of you know, and for those that don't, our grandson Bryson, which we've had on here in the early stages, was born with cystic fibrosis. I don't know if and thanks to is Rachel here, and thanks to Mark and Melinda, y'all are unbelievable with the support that y'all have shown. But the people from the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation came down today to meet with Kim and I, and that's what I was calling you about earlier. And I talked with Bree. I literally, I'm not scared to talk to anybody, even on the medical side. And we have talked, the Juice Plus community has wrapped their arms around us with the cystic fibrosis diagnosis. And it is unbelievable. It's phenomenal. What a family that this Juice Plus family is. All right. We love that. And I approached and I said, there's no way. I said, I'm going to dip my toe in the water here. And I presented Juice Plus to them. There were two cystic fibrosis people here. And you know what? They had not heard. And they were excited. I sent them tons of research stuff tonight. And I said, look, it may be something that you have to go arm's length and you can't put out on the cystic fibrosis page and whatever. I know we can help people. It's a great lung therapy. It's a great gastrotherapy. But even if you can't go there, when you see this, you're probably going to want it for your own family. So today was not about the sale, and it wasn't about the growth of our business. We have committed ourselves to Juice Plus and making the world healthy because we believe it that much. But now with the cystic fibrosis diagnosis, and we didn't know what cystic fibrosis was, we have now dove headfirst into that foundation. They are so close to cures. They were explaining how they're going to be able to go in and remove that gene and replace it with the proper gene and literally cure patients like my 6-month-old grandson were very excited for that. And we dove headfirst into that. So you know how we are. And it was about, if we can keep kids, and well, they're not just kids, ours is the youngest. All right. There's only like 40,000 cystic fibrosis patients, and ours is the youngest. And if we can reduce their hospital visits by 80%, or the length of their stay, or the severity of whatever. And so if you know somebody with that, if you have a connection, that I would love for y'all to share that with us, with me, Bree, and Melinda, because they've joined our team to help us raise money to find this cure. They are going to find this cure. They've told me that they're going to find this cure in the lifetime of my grandson. And that's going to be fantastic. So, but if you know research that I should have to send them, send it to me. Send me that board. Call me, text me, whatever. Reach out to Melinda, Mick, or whatever they know how to get me. Just please help us fight this fight and win that battle.
In the light of what Mark just shared, Bree, would you quickly share what happened with Haley and the cystic fibrosis Facebook group?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yes,
Which-
sorry, I was trying to find the unmute button. Yeah, so this is just the same as the connections. These connections don't have to only be for prospects. If you are someone that's already involved in the business and you're going through something new, or you're just needing help, Haley had gotten on a Facebook group and had searched Juice Plus and found a particular member of the group that then, when she clicked on that profile, was mutual friends with Mick Daly. So reached out to me, I reached out to Mick, which who then got her in contact with. Now they've had tons of great, very reassuring conversations, because this lady is ahead of Haley with an older kiddo. She has already talked to Haley about how they introduced it and all of this kind of stuff. So these connection calls definitely don't feel like they're limited to only brand new people. I mean, this is how to build community to help people get better across the board. So
Yeah.
always feel
Yes,
free.
Haley?
Facebook is fun because you can see those mutual friends.
Did Haley have CF2?
No.
A connection?
So
How did
Haley
Haley
is
come in?
Haley's my daughter.
Your
And
what?
Haley is my daughter, for those of you that don't know. And
Okay.
so none of us,
I
and
couldn't figure
all
out the
generations-
connection.
Yeah, and all the generations of our family, we've never heard of or had CF. Who knew? And for both parents have to have the gene for the child to even remotely have a chance to mutate that. It's only a 25% chance that it'll mutate, even when both parents have it. So out of all the generations of Georges and Bottoms, those are the two families, none of us have ever had it, never knew about it. And all of a sudden it mutated, and here we are.
So one lesson from this is, because Juice Plus has been around 30 years, and because there are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of customers, partners around the world, I don't care how rare something may be.
Yeah.
If you reach out, there is every likelihood that we can connect you or them with someone who can bring hope beyond what any of us can. So don't hesitate to do what Brianna did, what Haley did and Brianna did, to reach out. You'll find someone who can help.
It was pretty amazing. Just as Mick said, as soon as we heard about this, I posted it on some of the NMD boxer groups, and I don't know, Mark, how many people? We probably had
A lot. Yeah, you had me hooked up
people.
that first week with a dozen people.
I know, it was kind of like Mark is saying, don't overwhelm, but it was like all these people were just saying, I'm here. What can I help with? Get me connected. Here's my phone number. And it was really hard not to tear up about being able to take somebody that we care so dearly about, that had such devastating news, and just one little comment in a couple Voxer groups, and just be inundated with doctors and parents and grandparents and individuals. So this, as we always say, this community is so amazing. Mark, we are so appreciative for you, and we're so proud to be on Team Bryson. And everybody else that wants to join us on Team Bryson, you just come on and help us spread the word, because won't it be fun to have Juice Plus and all of us be a part of changing that gene
Yes.
and watching Bryson not struggle with it.
Thank you, Mick.
And the,
Thank you,
ne- and,
Mick,
the,
for that.
and the next time somebody criticizes me or makes a snide comment about me having almost 5,000 Facebook friends,
Yeah, right.
go take a hike.
That's right. Absolutely. All right. Thank you all so much. We'll be on for a little bit. If you'd like to visit, if you have other questions specifically for Mark, you guys can now see why we enjoy so much our friendship and our families being together and now being in business and on the solution and the cure.